pricing properties correctly? You've got your process of finding your comparables, first of all, but how do you price a property to go on MLS?
So I think first you have to determine what kind of a market are we in. What is the balance of supply and demand, right? So that's first and foremost. Today's market, we're in a pretty flat market, right? There's still activity going on, but it's, we lack listings and we also lack buyers, right? So it's a pretty flat market across. So all the information that I look for when I'm looking through the comps, then I start to apply that to the subject property, right? So what have we got as far as the subject property? What's the condition of it? Do we have any upgrades? The exterior of it, is it full brick? The same as, all the information we look at the preliminary stage, style and design. And again, I take the information from cancelled listings, terminated listings, price changes, sold and available over a course of, and what I've been starting to do in this market too is actually going back to 2021, because 2021 paints me a more of an accurate picture. We're a little bit more than 2021 prices right now, right? With the ups and downs of the appreciation of the market. I'll even go all the way back to then and work my way forward with the ups and downs of the months and come to a number based on that and based on what movement is happening around our subject property area.
Yeah. So when you're pricing too, you're pricing a home so that way it's like a little bit competitive. You get some interest from some buyers and then
Right.
take some
So
offers.
that comes down to strategy,
Yeah.
right? There's many different strategies you can take when you're pricing. Do we want to be a little bit more aggressive? There are some multiple offers that are happening now, right, in today's market, but they're pricing them aggressively, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to do that strategy? Here's the pros and cons of it. Do you want to just price at market value? Here's the pros and cons of it. Do you want to price it above, which some people do because they think they'd be negotiated down? And here's the pros and cons of that market, right? Not a smart move to price it above. Never is. So there's different strategies you can use, and that depends on the conversations that you have with your clients.
And that, applies to the wholesaling pricing of homes. And this is when I'm going to buy a home. How do I price it and how do you price it correctly? So same things come into play here. So first of all, you look at all the comparables. Ideally, you want to find a property that would be considered your ARV or your after reno valued property. So what is that property worth? What does it look like inside? This is the next step. Looking at all the things inside. What are the finishings like? Is there a finished basement? Did they put pot lights in it? Did they upgrade flooring? Did they put a new kitchen, new bathrooms, all that kind of stuff? You find one of those that looks great. That's your ARV. You can also find ones that look similar inside. They're older, they need work, they need to be updated. Nothing's been done to the property. Electrical panels old, lighting's old, kitchen's old, all those sort of things. So we would look at that property. So we take the ARV property. First thing we do, we take off 15% off the top. And when I say off the top, and an ARV, we don't want just one property that is, our after reno value. We want to find a couple that are in that range.
Right.
We don't want the highest one because the highest one is usually an outlier. And we want the ones that are, things are selling for in the neighborhood or the immediate neighborhoods. Then what we would do is we would take our 15% off of that ARV, and then we start factoring in what it would cost to renovate this property to look like that other property, to be able to get top dollar on the market for it. So this is what we would call our max allowable offer, or MAO. You'd start with that ARV, you take your 15%, then you take, I don't know, maybe it's $150,000 worth of renovations. Then you deduct that $150,000 off of that because you got to put that into it to be able to get the same money as the other one. And that 15% off the top covers everything else: land transfer, realtor fees, all that kind of stuff. And then a little bit for your pocket. Obviously, you got to make some money off of these properties.